What's going on, guys? Vic VP here. Check it out. We are gaming with Gaime's new plug and play LightGun console for licensed Namco games on a 120-inch projector. Let's shoot some gameplay of this. We're gonna load up some Time Crisis. All right, you know the drill. If you're not following me on all the socials, what are you waiting for? Be sure to follow me at Vic_VP. Click the Linktree link down below. You'll see all the social media links and my website. Check out Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Be sure to also like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this plug and play console for modern TVs. Comes with 4 licensed Namco games, 2 light guns, and 1 foot pedal. They are celebrating 30 years of Time Crisis. You need that foot pedal for Time Crisis. So again, let me know down below. On this video, we're gonna be aiming just for gameplay. I'm gonna be doing 5 minutes of each game. This way it's not too long. And basically, they do claim that you could play this console on a screen up to 150 inches. Well, luckily for me, I have a 120-inch projector in my living room. Ultra short throw, the projector's right there. I have the console right there. They have quite lengthy cords on this, so you can go pretty far back. And we're gonna test the theory. Does this work on a 120-inch projector? Big selling point with this unit, there is absolutely no sensors needed. There's no sensors on my screen. No, you just calibrate and you are ready to game. That's it. So without further ado, I have my Elgato. We got the screen capture going. Let's run some Time Crisis. All right, without further ado, let's get some Time Crisis going. You insert the coins on the light gun. There is even a rumble feature. It's got a little slight rumble, so recoil is there. Again, 1 plug to a console, and you're in and gaming. HDMI out, and you're set. Check out that foot pedal. Again, awesome. You could also not use the foot pedal, and you could just press the A button on the gun. But this is Time Crisis. You need the foot pedal, of course. And again, as I mentioned before, I am capturing this with the Elgato, so you'll see actual gameplay and such. Very cool stuff. Now, keep in mind, when you start the unit, you do calibrate the gun. It is pretty recommended that you calibrate each time you start the unit. And the calibration is really set for you, for me. If I hand the gun off to my brother, which is, maybe about, 6 inches shorter than me, he should be calibrating. Same thing, for example, I have a 4-year-old. If she wants to play, you will want to calibrate the gun according to that person. So yes, that is the one thing to keep in mind with this unit. You do have to calibrate the gun to the person. But I'm going to be gaming. I'm going to be playing these 4 games back to back. I'm not going to need to recalibrate the gun each time. I just did it one time, and that is it. Now, real quick before I forget to mention, there will be a longer form video on my channel. Be sure to check it out, where we're going to dive in and talk a little bit more. This video right here, we're aiming for just gameplay and such. Not bad. Again, 120-inch screen. My house is fairly lit. Nothing distracting. And again, I do have here, they do have an option in the settings. You could disable the crosshair. I have the crosshair enabled right now. This way, it's also kind of cool. You could actually see how the gun is, while I play. The one thing you're going to note, accuracy is there. It's pretty good. Coming from somebody that builds arcade cabinets, and I do have the Retro Shooter Reapers, and I do have Gun for IR guns, the accuracy on those guns are honestly much more accurate than this. But again, the big selling point with this unit here is no sensors are needed. It's apparently like AI is like calibrating and stuff, so it's pretty cool to know that I'm playing this and I did not have to add sensors to my projector. It just went and gamed. Very cool. Can we get these guys quick before the time runs out, Vic VP? No, reload. 1. Oh. All right, real quick. I'm going to exit out. So everything is done on the gun. I'm going to exit out. We're going to go into the setting. We're going to just disable the crosshair for Time Crisis. Time Crisis is the only one that has an option to enable the crosshair. So we're going to turn that off. You could even reduce the flash intensity. I don't really mind the flash, but it's pretty cool they have that as an option. Let's go back into Time Crisis one more time. We'll just do one area, and let's see how that goes. While that loads up, let me make sure my camera is A-OK and it's not going to die. Hello there.
There's been a kidnapping.
There's been a kidnapping.
It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Cersei.
Awesome.
Get into the castle and rescue.
All right, here we go. Again, I'm not gonna recalibrate. I just put the gun down, but let's game. Again, awesome stuff for licensed Namco games. Now, also keep in mind, I have the ultimate. This is the ultimate pack from Gaime. So they do have another unit where it only has time crisis, one gun and one pedal. I have the ultimate pack here. Again, be sure to stay tuned for the full detailed video that I have coming up. But all in all, as you can see, I'm able to blast these bad guys out of the way and such. Action. Loving it. Again, celebrating 30 years of time crisis. This guy behind the shield. Come on. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll get up to that door and then we're going to call it on this. So there you go. Time crisis. Relive childhood. Why not? Press the pause button. You can even see there they have an option where you could calibrate the gun. You could recalibrate in the menu. We're going to exit back to the game selection. So that's holding down the coin button. And we're going to run real quick some Steel Gunner. Why not? So Steel Gunner is a game that has crosshairs on. You cannot turn that off. And that's A-okay. That's how the arcade game was designed. So here we go. We're going to do about 5 minutes of Steel Gunner. Probably not going to do any cuts on this video. This way you can kind of see how the actual unit plays. I'm more of the type that I might have to just set like a stopwatch timer. I got audio, that's good. Again, I'm capturing this with the Elgato, so you'll see 2 screens and such. Here we go. So no pedal on this actually, because only Time Crisis utilizes the pedal. But luckily we have a second gun. When I do Steel Gunner 2, I will do some dual wielding. I can put 2 guns in my hand. Right now, because I started this game and I don't have player 2 in, you technically have to recalibrate the gun for player 2. I'm running solo, so I'm just going to calibrate it to myself. And that's actually pretty good because on the video here in the gameplay, you can at least see the calibration. Now, again, I have recoil enabled. The gun has like a little bit of a slight rumble, almost like an Xbox controller where it just rumbles and stuff. So no maim hooker. It just, you know, as you hit the trigger, it goes. And it's cool. Very good. At least for this right here for Steel Gunner, I'm holding down the trigger and it's constantly vibrating. Whereas for Time Crisis, if I hold down the trigger, it's not going to constantly vibrate. You have to pull the actual trigger. So it's like semi-maim hooked, or I should say like outputs are being sent to the gun. But all in all, solid stuff. Steel Gunner is a great game. Also Steel Gunner 2 for the kiddos because it has the crosshair on. Again, I have a 4-year-old. I gave her the second player gun and I'm like, look, you're the blue crosshair. Just keep the button held down and aim. They have the button B that could throw out the grenades and stuff. Again, everything is done on the gun. You have the coin button, you have a pause button, A and B and such. Very cool. And again, the biggest thing, no sensors. I didn't have to run wires on my screen. No sensors on this. So pretty cool stuff. It's only been 2 minutes on Steel Gun and that's A-okay. This is pretty cool. Again, I have my volume low here, but you could hear it from the Elgato. Awesome stuff. Now, again, we're going to talk about like accuracy and stuff, but again, it's mostly gameplay. Accuracy is there. I'll be honest, even me sometimes holding still like I am now, you can kind of see that the crosshair is jumpy a little bit. It's not awful. Again, keeping in mind the price of the unit, keeping in mind there's no sensors on the screen, it's pretty good. The big thing is that later on you're going to see we're going to play some point blank. And, you know, there's some very crucial parts to point blank, such as don't shoot the hostages, and sometimes you tag them. But again, it's not too much to complain about. It's a great unit. I basically could pack this up, bring it to my parents' house, and let the grandkids play. Very cool stuff. And again, yes, 4 licensed Namco games on this. Again, stay tuned for the full-fledged video. I'm going to talk a lot in the video talking about this because, yes, I am an arcade builder. And yes, like I said, I have the Retro Shooter Reapers, and I've had my experience with Gun for IR. I also do have a dedicated LightGun cabinet downstairs, and I do build arcades that have over 323 LightGun games on it. Yes, so be sure to stay tuned. a lot of fun. Like I said, definitely playing with like 2 people, 2 players going. We are good to go. We're about to hit the 4-minute mark on Steel Gunner. And again, Steel Gunner is a great series because again, crosshairs are on and you just pray and spray. I'm just holding down the button as we go. I see my battery is gonna die, so perfect opportunity now to exit, change my battery. Let's bring in Steel Gunners 2, and we're gonna bring in player 2 before we start that. All right, so I'm gonna take out my foot pedal from playing Time Crisis. I'm gonna grab player 2's light gun here, and we're gonna plug it in. So this is pretty cool. You don't have to restart the unit, but we do have to calibrate the gun. So you can see on the screen there, it's gonna say basically Game Gun 2 connected. There you go, see that? Game Gun 2, and then I have to hold down A to calibrate. So this is pretty cool. We're gonna be able to see the actual calibration screen. So holding down A, right there, awesome. So, 1, 2. Now this is an 8-point calibration. So there's 8 targets. You have to shoot them 3 times each. So 24 trigger shots for this right here. But again, essentially keep in mind that if you're gonna be playing this alone like I am right now, you only have to do this 1 time. Now at the end of this video, we're gonna power off the unit. We're gonna repower it on, and we're gonna skip, I assume you can, we're gonna skip the calibration process. So now, player 2, I cannot select anything on the screen. Player 1 is the one that's gonna select. So we're gonna right now dual wield Steel Gunner 2. With that, we're gonna start the timer. Again, aiming for 5 minutes because nobody wants too long of a video. Since some coins. Beautiful, that's player A and A. So start button on the guns is A for this. So again, Steel Gunner, you see there we have 2 players. Player 1 is pink, player 2 is blue. So like I was mentioning before, I had my 4-year-old, we were playing this. It's very simple, just hold down the trigger and go. And I was like, you're the blue, go, go, go. For Steel Gunner 2, obviously, because she's a girl. I gave her player 1 because it's pink. But yes, keep in mind, this is how Steel Gunner 2 was in the arcade. It had crosshairs. You cannot disable the crosshairs. In the main menu, there is an options, and you could basically set like the difficulty of these games, which we'll show later on. I'll make a little timestamp. But right now, like I said, I'm just holding down the trigger. Oh no, I shot the hostages. Holding down the trigger, and we're having fun. Again, recoil on both guns now. It's a rumble. It's a rumble. It's not a sliding recoil like a Time Crisis gun or the Retro Shooter Reapers. It is just a slight rumble. It feels like an Xbox controller is rumbling. Keep in mind, the system right now, the actual console is getting 5 volts. That's what powers the entire console. So these rumbles right now are technically 5 volts, a little bit less because, you know, you got to power the unit, and I am just holding down the trigger. So it is good though. Don't get it twisted. It's a cool rumble, but it's a rumble. It doesn't feel like I'm firing. It's just a rumble. So again, Steel Gunner 1 and 2, I mean, they're just kind of simplified games. No skill really needed, such as Time Crisis or Point Blank. But pretty cool. As you can see, if I'm gonna hold the gun steady, I'm trying not to move. You can kind of see the blue, a little bit of a slight jerk, but nothing crazy. And it's very interesting to see like Steel Gunner 2. It's not jerking around like I had experience with the other games per se. But again, awesome stuff. Steel Gunner 2 is simple, very simple. Again, we have 4 licensed Namco games on a very portable unit here. Just got to put it to an HDMI device, HDMI TV, and game. We are literally gaming with game. Awesome. I think we're good on Steel Gunner 2. I got player 2's gun. We're gonna hold the game selection screen, or I should say the coin button. It's gonna bring us back to the game select. Real quick with player 1, I'm gonna hold down B. We can see the settings real quick. Why not? Because I was talking about it. So Time Crisis, you can see there, you have a flash intensity and difficulty. Point Blank, you got difficulty and flash. Steel Gunner 1, you have difficulty, and Steel Gunner 2, same thing, difficulty. So Point Blank, we'll leave the flash off and stuff. If I go to Time Crisis and I actually enable the crosshair, it also enables it on the menu here. So we can take a real quick, I mean, I could stay right here, but I'm going to hold still. Just to, as you can see there, the little bit of the slight jerkiness of the crosshair. I'm not talking, so it doesn't look like I'm actually shaking. So let me reset. Let's hold up. So pretty good. If I go to the corner here, very slight. But it's there. That's like the main thing I want to get across, especially with the full form video. A game like this, for example, Point Blank, you're gonna see I'm gonna try to not shoot the hostages, and I might tag one. But all in all, it's a fun experience. Let's do the training stage. I'm really bad at Point Blank. It is what it is, though. I want to make sure my audio is good. I'll bring in player 2. Should we do player 2? I don't want to dual wield though. Player 2 on Point Blank. I'm gonna just focus on 1. I mean, I have player 2 started, but we're just gonna focus on 1. So again, a game like this, I'm holding down the trigger right now. The rumble is not going off. It only goes off 1 time. So I'm holding the trigger down. It's not going off. So it's pretty cool. It's like the outputs are being sent somehow to the gun. This is crucial. Awesome. Just got her. Yes, I just passed that. Awesome stuff. So again, be sure to stay tuned for the full-fledged video. In that part, I'm going to hold the gun on point blank. I'm going to hold it steady. I'm just going to fire. It's going to just keep shooting straight. And you'll just have to watch that video to watch the outcome of it. But pretty cool. Let's go 2 players. Let's do it. Destroy 10 bottles. Can't be that hard, right? Let's go. Dual wielding the game. Beautiful. Awesome. Quota complete. Cool. It says I hit 5 minutes, but that really doesn't count. We'll do one more quick mini game, and then we will end this video here. Let's get the targets. We need 12. Again, you can kind of skip with the A. Again, start button on this is the A button. Might as well get 2 guns going. It's more like who goes first, who gets it first. Ah! Come on, come on. Yeah, yeah. No, no, watch out for the bombs. Awesome. There you go. Point blank. Again, hitting the pause button. Long press the coin button. Oh, actually, before we end, let's put the theory to the test real quick. We're going to power off. And we're going to see if I power back on, do I have to calibrate? So I'm doing this out of my own will. Don't know the official result of that, but here we go. We're going to power it on. And again, I could be wrong, but I believe we could skip the calibration screen here. So let's just see how it goes. Nice little intro. It's basically saying, hey, make sure you're staying, a certain feet away. Make sure there's no direct LEDs and all that, lighting and such. Pretty cool. So game gun 2 and 1 are connected. That's good. So let's see. Can I skip this is the question. I can. And let's bring in the crosshair real quick just to see the accuracy if I'm actually on it. Yes. We're all right. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Cool. I would probably still run the calibration, to be honest with you, but I'm pretty good. There you go. Myth busted. But definitely I would probably say every time you repower the unit, you should run the calibration on it. So again, we have both guns plugged in right now. It's gonna most likely do the calibration for this player 1. And then player 2, you could skip it again by pressing the B button on the gun. That's how I was able to skip. Again, pretty cool stuff. 8 targets, 3 shots a target. That's 24 shots that you have to pull the trigger. This is kind of cool. They added this animation so you don't do it too fast. As you can see, like I'm trying to do it fast. And in the testing during the summer, you did it too fast. And yeah, some people had issues. But as you can see now, oh yeah, now I'm like really good. So yes, you should recalibrate on the power on and off. But there you guys have it. Gameplay of the game unit on a 120-inch projector. VicVP, stay tuned again for the full-fledged, full detail video I have on this.